Page 27. 3. Listening and strategies. Travel talk. A and B. Listen to a radio interview.
Welcome to Travel Talk. I'm your host, Ray Martin. My guest today is travel writer Jill Ryan. Jill has traveled around the world many times. Her new book is called A Traveler's Tales. Jill, welcome to Travel Talk.
Thank you, Ray. It's great to be here.
Jill, you have the most interesting life. You clearly love traveling.
Yeah, I really do. I love learning new things about the world.
Well, let's talk about your new book. You know, you've been to some of the most interesting places in the world.
I have. And it's those most interesting and most exciting places that I talk about in my book.
So then, tell me, what is the most interesting place you've ever been to?
Well, one really interesting place I visited is Petra in Jordan. It's the most amazing city.
Well, the pictures in your book of Petra are certainly amazing. They're some of the most interesting.
Yes, they sure are. The city is actually all rock. The name Petra means city of rock.
Really? Now, you've been to some beautiful places too. What's the most beautiful place you've seen?
That's a difficult question. There are so many beautiful places. I think Antarctica has the most beautiful natural features I've ever seen.
It sure does. I mean, the photographs of Antarctica are incredible. Okay, let's talk about your best and worst trips. What's the best trip you've taken?
My trip to Copper Canyon in Mexico last year was definitely the best. The colors were just wonderful. And actually, it was pretty exciting. I rode the train through Copper Canyon. I think, actually, that's the most exciting thing I've ever done.
I bet. It looks incredibly beautiful. It looks like the kind of place everyone should go to.
Yeah, they really should. It's the most beautiful train ride. Amazing views.
Okay, well, now I have to ask, what was your worst trip?
Well, 2 years ago, I took a Caribbean cruise. The cruise was great, but I got very seasick. I had to stay in my cabin for 4 days. I didn't see or do anything. So, yeah, that was the worst trip.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. Not fun at all. Well, Jill, I want to thank you for being on Travel Talk. And good luck with your new book.
You're welcome, Ray. It was my pleasure.
CD number 2. Page 34. Unit 4. Family Life. Lesson A. Family Gripes. 1. Getting started. B. Listen and read the messages on the website above. What problems do the people have? Tom.
I want to go to drama school, but my parents want me to study law. They're always pressuring me about it.
Marina.
My parents won't let me use the car. I have to ask them to drive me everywhere.
Pedro.
My parents won't let me stay out late. I keep telling them not to worry, but they always make me come home before 10 o'clock. It's so embarrassing.
May.
My kids play computer games all the time. I always try to have them do their homework before dinner, but they play games instead.
Eduardo.
My kids never help me clean the house. I can't even get them to clean up their own rooms.
Sue.
My husband never lets me have the remote when we're watching TV. It's so irritating. We're always fighting over it.
Mehmet.
My wife is a backseat driver. She's always telling me to slow down, even though I never go over the speed limit.
Page 35. 2. Grammar. Let, make, help, have, get, want, ask, tell. Let, make, help, have, plus object, plus verb.
My parents won't let me stay out late. They make me come home before 10 o'clock.
My kids never help me clean the house.
I have them do their homework before dinner.
Get, want, ask, tell, plus object, plus to, plus verb.
I can't get them to clean up their rooms.
My parents want me to study law.
I have to ask them to drive me everywhere.
My wife is always telling me to slow down.
Page 35. 3. Listening and speaking. Reasonable demands? B. Listen to 5 people talk about their parents' demands. Number the demands they talk about above 1 to 5. There is one extra. 1.
My parents have their own company. You know, they sell all different kinds of bottled water, and they want me to get involved in that and be part of it. Like, my mom wants me to learn more about bottled water and everything. I'm not really into it, but Mom says she'll teach me all about it when I finish college. She really wants me to work with her.
2.
I'm an engineering student. School's good, but it's pretty difficult, you know? I mean, I have classes and then I work part-time too, so I never seem to have much time for anything else. My parents are always complaining because they don't see me very much. I mean, they get me to go home for every holiday, but they also want us to talk more on the phone, like once a week too.
3.
I really have to do some thinking about what I'm going to do with my life. You see, I want to see the world before I get a real job. I've never really been anywhere, but my parents have always pretty much let me make my own decisions. Like they didn't make me go to college or anything. The only thing they worry about is that I won't find someone and they won't have grandchildren. You know, that I'll never settle down and have kids. They're always telling me to think about the future.
4.
My parents are trying to get me to go back to Toronto. They really want me to be closer to them. They're getting older, you know, and don't want me to live so far away. When I visit, they have me fix things around the house and help out. So yeah, it'd be good to be like an hour's drive from them or something. I told my mom I was thinking of moving, and she said, "Oh, great. I'll help you find a nice apartment near here." And I said, "Mom, I don't mean I'm going to be your neighbor."
5.
I'm in a rock band, you know. I play the drums. We perform almost every weekend at clubs around town. It's fun. My parents are okay with it. After all, they paid for my music lessons when I was a kid and made me practice too. But they don't like how I look. I mean, my clothes and long hair and everything. They just don't think I dress well, so they're always trying to get me to change the way I look.
Page 36. Lesson B. Family Memories. 1. Building vocabulary and grammar. A. Listen and read the article. What memories do these people have?
Happiest memories. We asked people to send us a photo and write about their happiest childhood memory.
My happiest memory is of my great-grandmother. She always used to keep candy in her pockets, and she'd always give us some when we came to visit. My dad used to tease us and say, "Grandma, don't give them any candy." But she did anyway.
All my aunts and uncles used to come over for Sunday dinner, and there were always about 12 of us around a gigantic table. My cousins and I would crawl under it during dinner and play. I'm an only child, so it was nice to be part of a big extended family.
My sister and brother-in-law used to live next door. I'm only a little older than my sister's kids, so I kind of grew up with my niece and nephew. I used to go over there a lot, and we'd play together. I was their favorite aunt.
I used to love playing basketball with my 4 brothers. I grew up in a blended family, with 2 stepbrothers and 2 half-brothers. After my parents got divorced, my father married a woman with 2 sons, and they had 2 more kids together. Anyway, the 5 of us used to play on a team, and we would always win.
Page 37. 2. Grammar. Used to and would. Use used to for regular activities or situations in the past that don't happen now or are no longer true. Use would or ud for regular activities in the past.
I used to go over to my sister's house a lot. I'd play with my niece and nephew.
My grandmother used to keep candy in her pockets. She'd always give us some.
The 5 of us used to play on a team. We would always win.
Negatives and questions with used to are less common.
I didn't used to like jazz.
What kind of music did you used to like?
Don't use would for situations in the past.
My sister used to live next door.
Page 37. 3. Speaking naturally. Used to. A. Listen and repeat the sentences above. Notice the reduction of used to.
We used to visit my great-grandmother.
I used to play with my cousins.
Page 37. 3. Speaking naturally. Used to. B. Now listen and repeat these sentences. 1.
I used to love jumping rope.
2.
I used to hate spinach.
3.
I used to be afraid of spiders.
4.
We used to have a cat.
5.
My sister used to tease me a lot.
Page 38. Lesson C. If you ask me. 1. Conversation strategy. Giving opinions. B. Listen. Which of the statements above do Corey and Rob agree with?
So, how are you and Charles doing? And the kids?
Good, thanks. Just way too busy. I don't think we get enough time together. I guess it's the same for everybody.
Oh, definitely. If you ask me, we all work too much these days.
Absolutely. With all the long hours and running the kids around.
Oh, I know. And my wife often brings work home on the weekends, too. Whatever happened to time off?
Yeah, it seems like we don't get enough time to relax.
Oh, that's for sure. And it seems to me that's why people often get burned out.
Exactly.